It's metal for the masses, the only place playing it harder, faster, and louder than anybody else here on live365.com. I am joined by the man. We haven't seen him in a year because that was the last time we talked to him about an
This has
update
been
on
a
the
year?
Obsidian Resurrection. It's Josh Jones. It's really been a fucking year, dude. I had to go back
This
and check. I was like, when was the last time I had Josh on this show? It was like over a year ago. And I'm like, what
huh.
did we talk about? Oh, there was an update with the band. It's like you guys were working on a new album, and now finally, a fucking year later,
Mhm.
uh, uh, it's there. Like it's out. We're
It's
by
almost
the
well, we're
time this
doing
airs.
we're doing pre-orders and it's gonna be out in January. January 10th is when it's out, but we're doing pre-orders right now on our Bandcamp.
That's right.
That's good
Which
enough though,
let the
right?
right.
That's
It's
good
great.
enough.
Listen, from a year ago to when we ended off the show with hopefully it comes out soon to a year later to
Yeah.
hey guys, now
We
we're doing pre-orders.
we hit a few speed bumps.
Which
uh
before we get it going, what's the band camp? Where can everybody go and download the fun shit at?
it's literally just the Obsidian Resurrection on Bandcamp, and right now you can when you pre-order either both digitally and the physical album, you get the reimagining of our demo song Prophecy's Will for free. And we're also going to be releasing a second, that's our first single. We're also going to be releasing the second single in December, and we'll announce that which song that is later. Um, but yeah, Prophecy's Will at the time of people watching this is going to be available as our single on Bandcamp as well as a music video on our YouTube. For
Nice.
our second single, it's going to be available everywhere because Prophecy's Will is a Bandcamp exclusive for pre-ordering, but the second single is going to be everywhere. So that one, like I said, we'll disclose of what song that'll be closer to the date. But yeah,
Gotcha.
since you said it's been a year, man, it's crazy. I'm a little older, I'm a little wiser. It's just
Your
crazy.
beard's a little longer.
Yeah, my knee's still broken. I'm getting a little chunky because I can't do cardio, but it is what it is.
Shit, man. Ah, well, at least you finally, you guys got this album coming out. I mean, like, I went on my SoundCloud because I was like, when was the last time I sat down with Josh? It's like I talk to you almost every fucking day, but I was
Right.
like, when was the last time I actually like sat down and we did a show? And it was literally the Obsidian Resurrection 2 update. And and
Sorry
I'm
about
like,
that, guys.
yeah, it's like a year ago. It's like update. We're in the studio. We're recording music. We're making it all work. We're doing this, and it should be out soon. And there wasn't like much to the interview because like even then you guys, were still like bare bones and didn't have much to say
Yeah,
about it.
the
You
the the
got
band members didn't want Danny and I saying much because there wasn't anything set in stone, but now it is, so I'm allowed to talk about it.
yes.
So I can,
The lead there's no leash. We
yeah,
can
exactly.
talk about it finally a year later.
Yeah,
So let's talk about it, man. This new album, we got the Prophecy's Will as a Bandcamp exclusive, which
which you've got for
we're
your
gonna
pre-order, yeah.
yep, I got for mine, and we're gonna be taking an exclusive for the first time ever because we had to sit before this fucking show started, and it felt like did you ever have to take like basic computer class in like elementary school and they had to teach you how to do like all the shit and how it worked? That's what it
You're
just felt
talking
like.
to a dinosaur. I was
Ah, that's
there
right.
before it existed. I was there before the internet, before these boxes called computers. But I took those classes,
Right.
yeah.
Um, so it was just like for everybody that wants to know, it was literally before we pressed play, me and Josh going through Zoom and being like, all right, cool. How can we play music on here? Had to break out Google. And then we're like, all right, cool. So you have to screen share. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And
It's the
well, we
future.
find it's the future, man. It's terrible. We're old men. I mean, I just turned 31. Josh is 30. And
Thanks.
hey,
Actually,
hey, no problem. Figured I'd
I mean,
flatter you.
you can count the years by the number of gray hairs in my beard.
But yeah,
You know, the
so we're
crazy
gonna
part is here's some morbid history on me. I have outlived both my parents. Holy crap.
wow, got it.
Go
This
me.
interview this interview's off to a great start.
I'm not all about
Fun fact,
unicorn farts and butterflies.
fun fact, dead parents.
Right?
Welcome to Metal for the Masses. It
That's
doesn't
just
get any
something
more
I've literally never thought about till now.
doesn't get any more metal than that. Oh man. On a lighter side, we're going to be giving you all a special sneak peek at Prophecy's Will in case, like, you're cheap bastards and don't want to support the scene. But after we give you the sneak peek, go fucking, pre-order the album off of Bandcamp and give these guys some money, please. Please.
Yeah, it was a
Please
rather
give them
expensive
money.
album.
They deserve it. But anyway, let's talk about this album, man, since we can finally talk about this shit.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hand this mic over to you. All the details. Go.
Well, I can start with Prophecy's Will that we're going to be listening to here in a bit. Excuse me. Like I said, this is a reimagining of the demo version of it. We did some riff rearranging. Ironically, the BPMs, like the demo version, I think you've heard me say this before, it was like a mid-tempo type stomp pace. Now BPMs, this song is the fastest on the album. It's crazy how that happened. Let's just put it this way. This was the song where in my mind I had to mentally train myself because I was like, this is the first song I'm going to record. I don't want to take any more than 10 takes. That was my limit because it's a wrist killer because I'm a pick player. It's a wrist and forearm killer, dude. And plus there's a lot of stretching going on the fretboard, so it kills everything. So I went into the studio and I was like, this is it. I'm starting with this song. And my friend Brian was like, are you sure you don't want to start with like your 15-minute song? I'm like, no, I got that one. That one's fine. This song, because it's just unrelenting. It's just the riffing is hard to stay with. And there's a lot of different tremolos and gallops and patterns, and I knew I was gonna fuck up. But honestly, I nailed it. One take, Brian looked at me and he's like, son of a bitch, you did it. So that was awesome. Like I said, it's a reimagining. We changed some things, it's a lot heavier. But as for the rest of the album, man, like Unholy Retribution's there from the demo, Edge of Sanity's there from the demo. Both of those songs also had some tweaking. Um, Might as well just go through all the songs since people can go to the Bandcamp now and see the song titles plus the album artwork.
Well, before you do, so you said there's a bunch of songs from the demo. How
Right.
old is I just want to let everybody know, how old is the demo?
That music is going on 30 years. It's
But
old.
when it's old, I know, but like when did your because like didn't the demo have like 3 tracks?
Yeah,
Like
it
the
had
original.
Prophecy's Will, Unholy Retribution, and Edge of Sandy. But there is a mysterious demo that Danny finally found that we made before that we dubbed it the drummerless demo because we used that to try to find a drummer before Alex joined the band. And that album or a demo also had our song Forever's End on it. So that one had 4 songs, but the main demo we released, because once Alex joined, we just plugged in, recorded in our friend's garage on his little 4-track recorder, and then we printed them out because we had a show to play that night. And that's our official demo called Enslaved by Nightmares. Uh, so that music's going on 30 years old. That demo is about 25 years old officially because we were around a long time before Alex joined. Now, the re-release of that demo when we reformed was in 2020, so that's gone 5 years that we
Right, because
re-released that demo.
I think that is because the very first interview I did with you, you and Danny, believe it or not, 2 years ago. Oh, going over 2 years ago. Um, so yeah, I can totally believe that came out because I was
It
just
might have
looking on
been
my
3 years ago, actually, because just before this meeting, I was going on an old website looking at some stuff that I used to do to promote the music, And I'm like, wow, I updated or uploaded this 3 years ago. And that was, I think, around the time when, I started talking. But then we did come
Yeah.
on your show 2.5, 3 years ago, I want to say.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's
about 2.5 years.
time flies, man, when you're just headbanging or making music. It
Time flies when you're frustrated.
yes, time flies when you're frustrated. But dude, it's insane because it's like I was just thinking about that. I was like, when did this demo actually come out? Because like that was like the first interview. We were talking about the fucking demo. And then a year after that interview, we had an update interview. And then that was like, we can't talk about a lot, but we're doing stuff. And
Oh, I think I might be getting the Metal Incorporated interview mixed in there. That might have been the very first one we did, was the Metal Incorporated one
yeah,
before
it
it
was
became a
the
record label.
yep, because it was Metal Incorporated and the Obsidian Resurrection, because it was both. We talked about your stuff and then we talked about Metal Incorporated because Danny was kind of only there for like half the interview.
That's right.
And
Okay.
and then we were talking about Metal Incorporated, which dude, kudos to you for from start to finish, man. I the not even finished, just start to present. It's you guys are on a label now. It's you're over there with Soda Records with Sam. I mean, like that shit, dude. It's how you find time to do anything
Well,
is well,
Obsidian is independent still. A couple of the band members have gripes with labels and stuff. So that it is what it is. But the record label, yeah, it's been like it's been kind of mind blowing. Last night, Sam blew up my phone. He had a few drinks as he was celebrating because we have, what was it? 52, s- 52 songs from 42 of our artists are on charts right now,
hell yeah,
doing amazing on the charts.
which is great.
And we're like, whoa, that blows because our old record, I think, was 11, and that was about a year ago, and now 52. That's
Right.
crazy. And they're all
That's
in the
fucking
top. A few of them are in the top 10, a bunch are in the top 20, and then top 50, top 100. And it's like, what the hell?
yeah,
So,
that's hard work, man. That's putting in the grind, and it's a bunch of bands that deserve it constantly. I mean, like, I love what you guys do over there at Soda Records. Just like, it's you know, I wish I could help you guys out more, but like I just play your stuff on my station.
hey, that's
But
all we ask. Just,
that's
it
it.
just, help them out with getting their music out to more people. Because I know you mostly focus on metal and Metal Incorporated. I mean, we have some hard rock, but it's mostly metal. But sodas, I just found out the other night it's pronounced Soda. I've been calling it
Oh,
soda this
Soday
whole time.
Records.
Yeah,
Yep.
Sam's last name is O'Day, so it's Soda Records. Um, you know him. His is all over the place, from rock, alternative, pop rock, indie rock,
Oh yeah.
heavy metal, death metal, tech death, symphonic metal. So his is all over the place. Mine, I'm just trying to focus on metal. So whenever I send you stuff,
Which
that's mostly from Metal Incorporated side.
for the people tuning in the very beginning of the Soday now
Soday.
Soday Records.
Soday.
Uh yeah. In the very beginning of Josh sending me music to be like, "Hey, I got this band. Throw them on your show. Thanks." There, I at a certain point, I think I asked you, I was like, "Man, are you listening to some of the stuff you send me?"
I was
Because
gonna lose my mind.
I was like, this, I just like,
You
I
can't
can't play
headbang
it.
to this.
I was like, I can't play this on my show. Like,
Yeah,
I like no disrespect to these bands. It's just like I can't play indie on my metal show, man. I'm sorry. I know how much
yeah.
you want me to broaden my horizons here on metal for the masses, but
Life's a journey. You can't just be set in one lane. You got to go all the lanes, man. Traverse.
dude, that's why metal has so many subgenres. I can multitask.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I want some country music, I'll go listen to some folk metal. If I want some some techno, I'll go listen to some symphonic metal. You know how it goes.
Country
Metal's
music.
for everything.
Corpiclani, country. Corpiclani, country. Ensiferum, country.
Yes.
Fintroll. folk country.
Right. So I mean, like, there is we kind of got a good streamlined process now because I think now we're
Yeah,
vetting bands.
I just send you
So
the heavier bands. By the way, before we
I
go
sh-
any further in this, since this is my new setup, am I too loud? I feel like I'm yelling at you.
oh no, you're pretty good.
Okay,
I don't think
because
you're
I
yelling.
don't have a microphone. It's just this little camera. I feel like I'm yelling.
Oh no, you're good.
Okay, okay,
If anything, we can hear you. So
nice. But yeah, well, thank you for everything you're doing, and
uh,
also, yeah, it's been fun. It's
I'm
been a journey, dude.
I'm just I'm just some prick on the internet, man. That's what I always say. But
I'm,
let's get
yeah,
back to this.
let's reel it
Let's get
back.
off right. Let's get off memory lane here. So this new album, what what's the name? Is it just the Obsidian Resurrection? Is it we got a title, working title? What do we got?
Yeah, so there's the Obsidian Resurrection. It's called As Darkness Falls. Um, it was actually going to be called something else because that song As Darkness Falls at one point in time was called Written in Blood. So we changed the song title to that to As Darkness Falls, and that just kind of sounds good. So that became our album title, and it really fit the album artwork that our drummer's father painted for us. He did all the artwork for us. Every single thing you see in this album, his dad painted for us, which is amazing. He's an excellent, talented man. And he even painted me as a zombie for my birthday like 6 or 7 years ago. It was awesome. He just texted me one day, hey, send me a picture looking like a zombie or looking dead. I'm like, okay. So I took a picture, sent it to him. He's like, thanks. 4 months later, you can come pick up your birthday present. I'm like, what? And he painted me as a zombie. I was okay. But
I
anyways,
found it really funny how you pointed. It's like you have a
oh
foresty
yeah,
background
I
behind
have
it.
Lord of the Rings forest back here. It's next to my bed because I'm weird
Okay.
like that. Um, but anyways, yeah, it was it's called As Darkness Falls. That's our title track. um yeah, it's I'm not too sure. See, here's the thing. Dimitri's very mysterious with his lyrics. It is kind of like pulling teeth off a rhino to try to get him to put the lyrics in the book because he's very secretive about how he writes. But he finally did it, and we have the lyrics in the book for people when they pre-order when they order the physical CD. I haven't got a chance to really dive into that song and what it means, but it kind of sounds like it might be based on the conjuring of some sort of witch doing something to someone, like, or someone being possessed. It's interesting because, like I mentioned in the past videos, this album, there's no concept to it. It bounces around, but there are overall themes of mankind living within their sin, seeing how their sin destroys their life, how it affects them personally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, the darker aspects of humanity type thing. It kind of also plays in with our demos theme, Enslaved by Nightmares. So it's kind of like carrying on that theme from the demo.
Gotcha. So we were talking about the three demos that have been refurbished and born again on this new album. What are the other tracks that we're dealing with?
I can just walk you through it. So there's an opening track called Apocalyptic Prologue. That's all Danny. He does all the orchestration, the keyboards, pianos, cellos, and it's actual cello that he's playing. You know that. Um, so that's all him. And then that opens up and goes into Prophecy's Will. Um, that one uh goes into the title track As Darkness Falls after that one. And then after As Darkness Falls, you're gonna hear Forever's End. That one starts off with this just wonderful piano piece by Danny. I love it. When we used to play that live, that shit would give me goosebumps. I always knew what song we were going into. And I was like, yes, this place is about to explode after this beautiful piano piece. They have no idea what's happening because that song always got our largest mosh pits. Like I told on all of our interviews, I think our very first show with Forever's End someone broke their arm to Forever's End. They got slammed into a wall and dude broke his arm. That song's a beast. But anyways, after Forever's End, goes into Rise of the Fallen, which is that's the one that myself and our original guitarist, my friend Mike, that we started in high school as our project for guitar class. Um, so that one is track 5. After that one, we go into Edge of Sanity. You're gonna hear the familiar drum intro from the demo, but done much better with Alex. Then after that one, you're gonna hear My Baby, Born from Tyranny. Lyrics, music written by me and Nate, who's no longer in the band. He tweaked some things, and we got it to where it is now. So he kind of, I guess you could say, co-wrote it. Yeah, co-wrote is the word I would say. And then the album closes out with Unholy Retribution, another one from the demo. And that one's interesting because Danny got to explore more with his orchestration this time around on Unholy Retribution for the album. And I think the people who are used to the demo version might be really impressed with it on the album because it's kind of a different beast entirely now. And it's really
Right,
interesting
because
to sit back and compare the demo songs to this album, the album versions.
yeah, because all I've ever had is your demo versions here, and I got to listen to Prophecies Will about an hour before this interview started. So by the time this airs, 2 days ago, but it's from what I've heard of Prophecies Will, man, it's like it's awesome. It's like hearing uh the change in sound that our mutual buddy Darren has been going through. Because in the beginning, with his baby, the cage in your head, you know, you know, he had a very specific kind of sound that he was dealing with.
Yeah.
Uh, and then like I think it was like Lest We Forget Has Been Forgotten came around, and it was just exploding. Like it just really fast paced.
Yeah,
Like
he went more thrashy.
he really did. And I'll tell you what, I hope he does more like that because I he has a great voice. He's really learned a lot since like the first time that I've sat down and talked with him. But I mean, it's like it's kind of like that change in sound because like I I've heard the demos obviously because that's all I've been having to run off of for like 3 years,
Yeah.
and getting to hear new stuff from you guys, I'm like, oh, this is fucking great.
Like I can hear the instrumentation now because, like I said, that
Yes.
demo we just plugged in, recorded, ran to Office Max. I think that's where we went, and we made a crap load of demos because we had a show that night. No post editing, no mixing, nothing. This one, we went to Dirty Viking Audio with Carlos, and hat tip to him. He helped out with recording the guitars, and he aligned everything and got everything set up for us to be our to send off our album for mastering with Brett at Tower Studios. That was I'm still kind of mind blown about that because that guy's a legend in the industry. Like he's done things with Megadeth, he's done things with Morbid Angel, Septic Flesh, Samael. I mean, he's done things with Arion, like so many amazing bands he's worked with, and he's working with Little Us. I was like, okay, sure. And he kicked ass with it. And it's really interesting actually sitting back and hearing every instrument now instead of like that fuzz from the demo. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a dinosaur. I got old albums. I'm sitting here looking at Emperor's first album, Amon Amarth's first album, Aeternus' first album, stuff like that. So I appreciate a good fuzz and some horrible recording, but it's really cool to hear how beefy and crisp and just ballsy our music is now. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
And speaking of like, that's awesome that you're sitting with like such a legend doing this recording. But so from a year ago, like when we were first talking about like, hey, you guys are working on some stuff to now, it's all come to fruition. Every like, the stars, the planets aligned, the new album's coming. We can finally pre-order it. Uh do you think it would have taken this long to do it, or was it just because of, life between all of you guys being that like, you guys all, you know, have, real jobs and real life responsibilities? Like, do you think it would have taken this long regardless, or do you think it would have been like done like maybe within a couple months?
I think it's a mix of both. I don't think we could have gotten it done in a couple months because it took about a year for us to rewrite these songs and even to remember some of these songs and some of the riffs in the order of how they went. And I mean, there's still even one song that we do not remember at all how to play. We remember it was with our original guitarist, and it was like a ballad. So we don't care to remember it because it doesn't fit the theme of the album at all. It'll stick out like a sore thumb with gangrene and everything on it. But you know, there's still so much that we had to remember and discuss and figure out. So right off the bat, we're like, no ballad, not going to do that. We had to focus on remembering Rise of the Fallen because that song is like a 14, 15-minute song. And there's a lot of riffs in there and a lot of movements. And we had to remember how it went. So there's a lot of things we had to just mentally prepare for and to get going before we could even think about recording, you know? Plus, we're all rusty except for Dimitri and Alex because they're the only two of the band that are active still. You know, Dimitri's with 6 Million Dead, but he's hasn't played guitar in forever. In 6 Million Dead, he's just a vocalist. So he had to pick up his guitar and relearn these songs as well and practice his chops. And then Alex, he knocked it out of the park. He killed it because he's just he's Alex. He does what he does and he does it well. Um, so we had to remember these songs. We had to practice, 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 practice. Like I got so tired of playing these songs, but I knew I had to. I dedicated about an hour to an hour and a half every single day playing all of these songs because I knew at one point I had to record, you know, and I hadn't touched the bass in over
Yeah.
20 years. So when you haven't touched the bass in over 20 years, the saying goes, it's like riding a bike. Not really, because the bike's easy. You just kind of work on your balance and go and just steer it. But with the bass, you gotta get the timing going on. You gotta get your fingering. You gotta get your endurance and stamina. Because I'm a pick player, it took a while to get that back. So there's a lot to it. Um, so I don't think we could have done it in just a matter of a few months. I think it worked out the way this happened for a reason up to a point because there were some parts where there were potholes in the road that we weren't expecting. A couple points there were some cliffs we weren't expecting, and we had to turn around and go back and find another way. So that's to be expected, but there were a lot of uh not mishaps, what's the word? A lot of things that prevented us from having a smooth ride to make it go faster on the creating of the and finishing of this album. So it's a combination of, you know, life getting in the way, jobs. Everyone in the band has kids except for me. I'm the only loser. Um, so it's like life getting in the way, and then your typical, oh crap, this is happening in the band. So we can't record right now. We can't do this. We can't do that. So, you know, it is what it is. It took a
Guys,
while,
I broke my foot. I can't come to practice.
stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that it not really glad, but it kind of provided an experience that I can talk about because I mean, at one point, fuck, Danny and I we were on the phone talking and figuring out recording. And as we're talking, he's up in Oregon, a thunderstorm starts going. And I'm like, hey, stop talking to me, record that. We're going to use that for the opening to Rise of the Fallen or something like that, you know? And so he did that. And then that inspired him to record. And so he went and started recording, and the transformer in his neighborhood got struck by lightning and it fried his computer. So he lost all of his recordings. That was the first time he had to re-record. That dude had to re-record this entire album 3 different times. He was almost going to have to do it a 4th time. And I was like, bro, this sucks, because I didn't know if we were going to get his orchestration going, because he just kept getting struck with bad luck. But he finally got his stuff done. You know, it's just shit just kept happening, and we muscled through it. You know, we got to this point.
Big homie in the sky was like, how bad do you want this album, dog?
Right? That's exactly what it felt
How
like.
badly do you want to do this, man?
Yep.
Man, you just got done recording all that stuff. Lightning
Yep.
bolt. Oh
That was
man,
literally
that's
an act
terrible.
of God that prevented him. He had to buy a whole new motherboard and a new hard drive, everything.
Jesus. But hey, man, it makes for a great story because you can be like, we literally almost lost this shit 4
Yeah.
times. We beat God to get this album out. Oh man.
Yeah.
Nah, that's awesome. I'm glad that this shit's finally coming out. We can finally pre-order it. Uh Obsidian Resurrection on Bandcamp, right? That's the yep,
Yeah.
for everybody that's tuned in. Go
Yeah.
there.
The Obsidian Resurrection.
Yes, can't forget the
The.
Obsidian Resurrection on Bandcamp. Give these guys money. Give an extra charitable donation because of how long it took these guys to, they had to fight off God 4 times here to get this album out. So I mean, like they definitely earned it. But we got a special treat here on this day of days
Doing it.
on Metal for the Masses. I think we're gonna do it because this is the
Let's get
first
it
time
done.
this is the first time I've ever had a background for these fucking interviews. And B, this is the first time that I ever found out that we could actually have a fucking listening party here on the interview. So I mean, like, fuck, it's a whole day of firsts, and it's the first time we're getting new Obsidian Resurrection in God knows how. 3 of them, 3, count them,
Yeah.
3 new things.
Crack a cold one.
Fucking hey, dude. All right, this is called Prophecy's Will. It is it's a little long, so I mean, like, we're
Yeah,
not
we
gonna
don't write short songs. Sorry about that. We have a
right.
problem.
You know that part about no ballads? Yeah, they're about as long as a ballad, but
Yeah.
I don't
At
know.
least they're full of kick-ass riffs.
Absolutely. So we're gonna get it started here. And yeah, it's just gonna be me and Josh just kind of sitting here listening to this stuff and kind of talking about what we think about it. So hopefully you enjoy.
I might chime in and say a few things while we're listening, but I won't be a dick.
I love that scream in the beginning.
He's got an incredible voice. Of all the bands I've been in, he's been my favorite vocalist. I love that. It's that old school thrash sound.
And this is all one guy, right?
Yeah.
Good God.
He's very talented.
I ain't shit. The throat lozenges you would need after doing this.
He does starbursts and now laters.
Starbursts and downly. There you go. There's the secret.
That's the secret.
I love the orchestral.
Yeah, I love the horns.
I like. Do you remember the Helena music video for My Chemical Romance?
I do not like that band, so I do not know what you're talking about.
That's all right. It was done in like a big church, like a big like cathedral church in New York. I think it was like New York, or it was like an upper New Jersey city close to New York. But that's all I can imagine being in right now. Listening to this is just with like the orchestral kind of sounds to this, and just everything going on. It sounds so like massive.
And we had to tone down the orchestration. That's what sucks because there was a lot going on. The only rest I got when I recorded was right there. The song is bringing back recording PTSD. This part right here kicks ass coming up.
I can hear the build. Yep, I love this part. This is so great.
Yeah.
This is why I feel like I am in a giant cathedral right now. With like I feel like the hole to hell has opened in the floor.
Yeah, that's a jacked up cathedral, man.
Oh my god.
I love it.
It's great. It really is.
And we finally have guitar solos.
Now not to cut ahead here, because like we only have like a minute 20 left of this. Does it cut off like super abruptly? Is it supposed to do that? Or did maybe I get a bad download?
We're at the end.
Okay, because like we have like a minute.
Yeah. If you
Because like
remember the
it
demo,
doesn't like
if you remember the demo, we moved the beginning of the demo to the end of the album version.
that's right, because that's where it just started. Or that's where it just ended.
Wait,
Oh
wait, it
God.
wasn't supposed to end there. Did it? It just ended right there?
It just ended right there.
Huh. I gotta
Damn.
check the file.
Well, listen, we got to check the file on that, but that's, you know what? This is the first time we've ever been able to do this here on
Right.
Metal for the Masses. So, I mean, like, we're not going to have a perfect run. I mean, like, even going back to like my first ever show, that was not a fucking perfect sailing. That was just all sorts of chaos. But dude, fucking incredible, man. Like, you guys, if that's just like a sound to cut, like the, I don't even know what instrument that was, but just the like the,
I
it's
think that's
just like
just his string effect on his Nord keyboard.
it's so it's so great. Like, I wish more things had that like effect. Like, I wish more.
He's trying to incorporate a more modern sound, but mixing the old '90s and early 2000s symphonic metal sound because
Yeah,
um like in the past interview I've done with you, I guess I can toot my own horn. Our band was very unique still back then, in the meaning that there weren't many symphonic death metal bands out there at the time. There was what, enslaved, enthroned, uh there wasn't many. And so we were kind
no,
of part of this niche grouping and so Danny took that '90s, late '90s, early 2000s black metal symphonic orchestration, and he put it into our music, and he wanted to keep that because he had all the options and to make it just all current sounding and modern, but we didn't want that. We wanted it to sound like we're harkening back to our glory days, back when that genre was
right.
first coming out. And
Yeah,
plus, he
that's
probably didn't want to rewrite a bunch of stuff either.
I mean, like, it come
For a
on.
fifth
Like,
time,
why would you for a fifth time? Right. Five times, I'm done. But
I quit.
I will. If look, if God got in the way five times, I'm like, all right, I should have stopped at three, but five, okay. I got the message.
Yeah, I really got to tip my head to Danny, and like he had every reason in the world to just be like, you know what, guys, I'm done. Something in the universe doesn't want me to do this. I'm listening. Bye bye.
Bye
But
bye.
he stuck through it, and like I said, we had to cut back some of his orchestration because it was overpowering everything else. But at the end of the day, we chose the best parts of what he came up with, and we plugged it in, and it sounds awesome. And yeah, I wish
It's
that
great.
file I sent you, it didn't have the end of that song. That's a trip. Cause
Nah, that's
yeah,
why I was just like, it's probably supposed to do this because, like, I know there's like, I know some songs end abruptly that's because they immediately go into like the next song, but
this
like,
one
I
does end
figured that's what it
abruptly,
was.
but
Yeah, I
it
mean, like,
sounded like it
it
stopped
ended like right there.
at the guitar solo.
I think that's what it was. Like, it just stopped like right there. Like,
That's
even
weird.
on like the file, it
Now I
says
gotta check the file.
it's like even right there, it's like you have a minute left, and then it's just like, nope, done. And I'm like, oh, okay. It,
Huh.
no, I would check your file, but I think it's probably just it's probably just how it came through my email because I don't know, it took its time downloading, which is a first for me. Usually stuff downloads, pretty quickly. But
Yeah.
it's
But
great,
one
man.
cool thing,
I
like if you were to have heard it, um, if you go back and listen to the demo version of Prophet's Will, that intro riff, we moved it to the end of the album version because it just comes in and
Okay.
smashes you out of nowhere. Because we're grooving along, we're just thrashing it up because the last couple riffs are just they're wrist breakers, and then all of a sudden you think we're just gonna go into the typical ending of the song, and all of a sudden they come in with this huge behemoth of a riff, and then just stops. I'm like, okay,
Right.
so well, we'll figure out the file, and then people who pre-order it, they will get the correct file.
Right.
I'll
I
fix it
doubt
after this interview.
I right. I'm fucking, giving you PTSD. I doubt that there's any problem with
Yeah,
the
I'm kind
actual
of
file.
nervous
I
over
think
here.
it's right.
I'm hoping the
And this
problem's on your end.
right. End this interview so I can go check for 9 hours. Nah, but no, I'm super excited for the album. I really am. It's gonna be great. I mean, the sound that you guys got right there. I mean, like when I was saying throughout the entire thing, like I feel like I'm in just like a big cathedral. Like I feel like, I mean, I don't know. Don't take this the wrong way, because like just listening to the sound, like not even focusing on the lyrics, just listening to the sound and how it builds and how it flows and just the kind of dark tone that it has. Like I feel like I'm in like a big, church of the occult, and they just made a sacrifice and like a portal to hell opened up and Satan rose out, and I'm just sitting here going like, this is what it's giving me the vibe of, man. This is dark. Just like as soon as like the strings start going and they start building, and then like the everything starts going on, and you were like, dude, this is my favorite part, this is where shit gets crazy, and like that's where it all happened. Like that's what my mind goes to, that's my imagination when the music
Well, you're
hits.
not that far off because it's in a weird, skewed way. It's kind of our own take on biblical prophecy. Prophecies will, you know.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of weird how. And that's not actually weird at all.
Prophecies will be prophecies.
That's cool that you actually said that. That gave you that vibe. Daniel will probably be rather proud of that.
Oh, dude, kudos to Danny, because like before that, I mean, like in the demos, I really couldn't hear like a lot of like what he was doing, because like you said, I mean, like the demos were demos. That's I you can't throw shade at a demo, because it's like it's a demo, you know.
Yeah,
They're working it out, but it's like that fuzzy, that grainy kind of sound that the demos had. I mean, like, yeah, a lot does get lost in there, and I feel like a lot of like what Danny was doing. I mean, like now you can hear it crisp as fucking day on Prophecies
yeah.
Will, and it's like this, this, this is something awesome.
The
Uh,
beast is unleashed.
Exactly. And I'm not just saying that because like you're my friend and I wouldn't tell you that your music sounds like shit, because I probably
Hey,
would if it
you
sounded like
can though.
shit. Right. I would tell you if it sounded like shit. I'd be like, brother, I want to
Don't
let
release
you.
this.
It's like, do not release this.
Right?
Good. I love you. Do not release this. This will forever stain your this will end your bloodline. Like this will.
Yeah.
But no, it's good shit, man. It really is. I think, not just, I mean, like I'm just some prick on the internet. I always say that, don't take my opinion for shit, but I like it. I absolutely love it. I think it's great, and I can't wait for more people to hear it. I can't wait for you guys to get a an actual organic feedback, and not just like, you know, people telling you, "Hey, I like this. This is great." Uh, I
Yeah,
can't wait
that
for
would be
like,
interesting to hear people
yeah,
outside the circle. I mean, we
exactly.
got good feedback off the demo, regardless of how crappy it sounds. I mean, there were some people that had their grief and their gripes. Some very,
I
very anti Danny Filth vocals people were very vocal about how much they hated it. And I'm like, that's fine, but what do you think of the music? And like, well, that's cool, dude, but
Right.
your vocalist sucks. I'm like, I wouldn't say that, but you're welcome to your opinion.
Yeah, I mean, like my thing with the demos was it's just like, God, they were long, and it was the demo sound that for long periods of time I was like, all right, I gotta press pause real fast, come back to this in a second, and then
It kind of killed
like,
your eardrums because it's so bad and they're so long.
yeah. At this now though, it's clean. It's all, it doesn't it doesn't feel like we were just sitting there for 6 minutes at all. It feels crisp, clean, efficient, gets to the point. It does everything it's supposed to do. It's mixed properly, like you said, from an absolute fucking legend to like Megadeth and so many other guys. I mean, like, you guys have literally, like, I know why this took, you know, years to fucking get. I mean, like, hopefully the next one, if there is a next one, doesn't take that long. Cause I say this about everybody. Like, hopefully I don't see you in a year with new stuff. Hopefully I see you in like, 6 months with a new single. But yeah, no, I really think it's great. It's you should be very proud. All of you guys, not just you, Danny, and all the rest of your band members,
I
everybody
think
involved with the Obsidian
the
Resurrection.
overall vibe of our group chat is we are very proud I think we're also kind of in that area of space where we don't really fully appreciate where we're at because it's like we're finally at this moment. Like we're done. We
Yeah,
just need to
you're
release it
right.
now.
You don't
It's
have to worry
kind
about shit. It's just
of in
sitting on it.
disbelief still.
Yeah,
But I
it's
think we're all proud of it because it's just it's been our baby. Like it's all of our first band. So well actually it's Alex's second band and my third band, but I don't really count those two bands because they were punk and punk, you know. You don't really not trying to rag on punk, but when it comes to recording, you stick with that crappy sound. And we didn't want that. That's kind of
come
like the bread and butter of
on, come
punk. You
on.
gotta kind of punk and black metal, you kind of gotta stay dingy.
Oh,
This
come
one
on.
This one, we put a lot of effort into it to sound because we wanted that full Dimmenborger Emperor Cradle of Filth sound. Can't get away with that punk, you know. So
But
it took a
hang on. Wait a minute now. Now that you've dissed on punk like 3 times,
no, I
dingy
love
is
punk.
not
I'm talking about the
dingy is
production.
not the word, sir. It's
Crust.
murky. Okay?
Murky. I was,
I'll go as murky because you also threw black metal in there too. And I'm like, listen, my friend, I may not be like, the biggest advocate for, black metal on its face, but I do love me some, melodic black metal. I love that. Just that kind of vibe. But like black metal as a whole, it's like, it's kind of like a murky sound.
yeah.
I wouldn't say it's like dingy or like I guess punk is like crust and that kind of stuff. But like I would use the term murky rather than
Yeah, I didn't mean
dingy.
to talk crap about the genres. It's just
Dingy, sir, dingy is like the 1999 Honda Civic you get as a first car. Like that's the it's gone through
Ford
like three
Tempo.
other right, Ford Tempo that's gone through like three other family members. Like, nah, dude. Like,
489,000 miles. That's when I got it.
right. Here's your first car, son. Have a good one.
Right. But yeah, I wasn't ragging on the genre, it was more the production because we knew the kind of work it was going to take going into this because we knew what we wanted and we knew it was going to be a lot of work to get to that point. And honestly, that's where I think once again Carlos from Dirty Viking Audio and Brett from Tower Studio because they took our vision and they ran with it. They knew what we wanted, they knew what to do to get us there, and I think they delivered in spades. So, and
Yeah, absolutely.
it took a lot of the not so much the pressure, but more like the worries off of us because we knew we were in good hands. Um, especially when we had to listen to these songs over and over and over to get the final mix down because they sent us so many different mixes that they were feeding off of and everything, to eventually get to the point where we're like, this mix, we want this mix, So,
It's amazing you guys have gone through all this and don't hate your music as much as you've had to listen to it.
oh, we all took a break. There was several months, especially around, I think Danny's third or fourth time having to re-record. I was like, so, and I did not want to listen to anything. And I think that was about 4, maybe 5 months where I didn't want to listen to it. And I think it took Carlos working with us for me to start appreciating our music again because I had to listen to it. But that's when I started hearing the evolution of it, the changes, how everything is crisp and clear, nothing's muddy. I can hear everything. And I started actually
Everything.
appreciating it again. So I thank them for that.
Especially if you're listening to it through headphones and you have like the audio goes through at certain points. I mean, like that at certain points in prophecies will like I would get like some of the music would come through one end, the other one just kind of stays over on this end. And it's just like where you were like, this is the only place I got to break. And it kind of like doesn't slow down, but it kind of like does like that hard stop almost,
Yeah.
but like one or two of yous are still playing. It's only coming through this one side, and it being able to get that revolving sound and it be so crisp and clear. I, from the demo and like I don't like after hearing this, fuck the demo. This is where it's
that's kind of where we're at. Like, we appreciate the demo for what it is and was, but now this is it because the demo songs are on it, so we don't need to listen to the demo anymore.
Exactly. And it's amazing. Like you guys, should be very proud. I can't wait to hear the kind of feedback you guys get. I mean, like, hopefully you guys are charting with this kind of shit when it comes out. But dude,
That'll be wonderful.
it would be wonderful. It'd be a nice little cherry on top. But dude, again, this has been surreal. It's been great. It's always a great time having you here on the show. Sorry we couldn't get Danny on here. I mean, usually every time it's been you and Danny. Now it's just you.
He has a new is a bad word to say. He has a new daughter. He has a daughter. Dude, I'm a horrible friend. I can't remember if she's a newborn or it's been a
Oh,
year or two.
all right, cool. I thought you were about to say he has
He has
a
a new
new
child,
he has a
but I
new
just can't
child.
remember her age.
I thought you were about to say he Dave Grohled some woman.
No, no, no. Um, he just has a second child. I just cannot remember her age. So much has been going on with me and him, but so he's just too busy with kids and helping his uh
Oh, he's being a good husband and a good
yeah,
father, as
yeah,
he should
exactly.
be,
He
as he
just
should be,
couldn't do it.
as you all should be here on Metal for the Masses, except for you, Josh, and me. We don't have kids.
I'm still available, ladies.
That's it. On that note, ladies, this man is single and ready to fucking headbang and mingle while you both listen to their new album, As Darkness Falls, by the Obsidian Resurrection. It's available on Bandcamp at the Obsidian Resurrection on Bandcamp. Give them a charitable donation, and let them know how much this album means to you. And dude, fucking A. Josh,
Even if it sucks, let us know.
right, even if you fucking hate it, if you hate the Danny Filth shit, let them know.
Right?
Spam their emails. Listen, like go to the comment section and just let them have it. Whatever it is, let them have it. Whatever you've been feeling, even if it's not related to the music at all, just in the comment section, go. But Josh,
Brutalize me, daddy.
right, step on me harder, government daddy. But Josh, it's always a great time having you here on Metal for the Masses. Hopefully, it doesn't take a fucking year to have you back on, my friend.
No, I was actually saying I can come back on and we can do a listening party when the album comes out on January 10th, if you want, or around that time.
I, it, dude,
Now,
I'm
now
I'm
that we know
game.
how to do it,
Hell yeah, we'll have you. We can have everybody from the fucking band just come on here and we'll just listen to the fucking album. We can now do
it's
that
like
shit
a
now.
whole new world for metal for the masses now.
Dude, this is great. I got a whole fucking background now. It's I can do listening parties.
Yeah,
Dude, 2025. Watch the fuck out, dude. I might even get
upgrade,
laid. Who knows?
achievement unlocked.
Right. I might even get laid. Who knows?
I'll be praying
Uh,
for you on that one.
dude, I'll be praying for you. I'm praying more. I'm praying harder for you more than I am myself here. But alrighty, buddy. That's a wrap, dude. I mean, do you got anything else to say before I think we covered everything.
uh, yeah, we will be also be pushing a new line of merch. Um, my band's Hot Sauce is going with the next batch. Can you see that? Is it available to see?
It's right
Yeah.
there. Now we see it.
He's got the new batch going. It's at Mr. G's infamous hot sauce. It's my own recipe. I helped him make it. So
And
he can, huh?
not for nothing. I saw you guys post about the hot sauce like a couple days ago,
Yeah.
and I completely forgot. I remember that was like the first thing. That was like the first big team up.
Yeah.
Going all the way back to the fucking beginning, man. Metal Incorporated.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
had so many
That's
here.
actually why I placed this here because he just sent me this in the mail because I'm giving it to my brother-in-law for stocking stuffer. And so yeah, if fans want to check it out and help us out, we do make royalties on every bottle we sell. Plus, I'm having this new line of merch coming out that'll feature the band artwork or the album artwork, and yeah, everything will help us recoup what we've spent on this album. Woo! It's been
But
expensive.
listen, man, you never count the money lost when you do these kinds of things. It's not about art is not about the profit. It's
It's
about
kind of
the art.
easy to it's kind of easy to count the loss when you're sitting here going, um,
Right. How much money?
right? This better be
Uh,
good.
this better listen, the internet will let you know.
Yeah, let us know, guys.
Hell yeah.